What's up, guys? It's Nick here.
And I'm Cody.
And we're back with another episode of the Raw Smack Wrestling Podcast.
Yep.
What is this, episode 5?
What?
6?
5 or 6.
Five
It
or
might even
six?
be 7. I don't know. There's a lot of... There's quite
It's
a few.
one of
I
them.
think it's 5 or 6. Possibly 7. I don't know. Anyway, you can catch this podcast available on all major platforms, wherever you're listening right now. That's one of them. Whether that's YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple iTunes, maybe Amazon Music. I'd have to check that one because they do not send confirmation. Well, they don't send confirmation emails like all the other ones, which is really weird. So, anyway, we're gonna start off with the Elimination Chamber recap since we kind of put that off to the point where we have to do it with the.
Well, we've been busy.
Very busy. Anyway,
yeah.
Well, yeah, you got YouTube and Twitch stuff. Really, it's more my fault. But anyway, do you want to start off talking about the pay-per-view, or do you want me to talk? Because I got all the stuff right here in front of me.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to let you run with this one and Raw, and then I got Smackdown.
Oh, that's fine. That's cool.
We'll flip-flop back and forth every week, because I watched Raw this past week, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't take notes.
I didn't take notes either. I'm just glad other people on the internet take better notes than I do. So, I still,
here.
Hey, I paid attention for the most part. But
yeah.
Anyway, we'll start off with the kickoff 4-way, fatal 4-way. I'm assuming it was. This is not very clear itself. But we didn't watch the kickoff show. I think John Morrison won, and he got inserted into the triple threat for the U.S. title. Did you? I didn't watch it.
Well, okay, so like, let me clarify. I didn't like hardcore sit down and watch it.
Did you have it on the background?
We had it on.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in there, I was playing on my phone, but yeah, John Morrison did win, and he got his entry for the United States champion.
Yeah. Moving on to the start of the show, and the start of giant long video packages like every pay-per-view, which is, again, now I think about it, makes this pay-per-view even worse because
yes and no.
Well, okay, so I said this after the pay-per-view on Discord.
Hold on here. I'll make this clear, and I don't like long promos either, but I'll make an exception for this pay-per-view only because even with the long promos, it only ended up being a 2.5-hour show.
That's what I was going to say. This really was not a pay-per-view, and
that's
actually
only
that's
the Asuka match got cut out.
Yeah, well, I have a problem with all that. Like, it's supposed to be a pay-per-view. Like, why is it shorter than Raw?
Right.
Like, at least it is a terrible pay-per-view, so at least it kept it from being even worse. So I'll give them that. So it was actually kind of good. It was under 3 hours. But anyway, move on to Smackdown Chamber match. The best match of the show, in my opinion. I don't know if you would agree, but I think we should also say me and Nick got none of our predictions right except for the Raw Chamber. So, yeah, don't ever listen to us as if we know what we're talking about. As I was saying, this chamber is so predictable. I thought it was so predictable because I at least thought there was some logic behind some booking, and I keep forgetting that WWE is not logical, so that is my fault.
That's very true.
But anyway, the SmackDown Chamber, I thought this was so good, and of course, I think the best thing they could have done was start with Cesaro and Bryan in the Chamber. The best wrestling of the night happened there for the first, 5 to 10 minutes? I wasn't keeping track, but this Chamber match was just very good. Great character work, great wrestling. Again, we didn't get any of the eliminations right in order at all for both the chambers.
Well, that's a tough one to do. I mean, there's 6 people on there. We didn't know who was coming out first. Yeah. And I wasn't surprised to get those wrong because, like you said, but it was more or less a random guess.
But I'm just saying because it adds on to the fact that we got basically everything wrong except for the result of the Raw Chamber.
Yeah.
Which was the only predictable thing. But anyway, I'm not going to go through with who got eliminated when because it really does not matter at this point. I don't think any storylines are going to be built off of who eliminated who. But Bryan comes out on top. He wins the chamber match in a great match. I still think Cesaro should have won, even though I'm a Daniel Bryan hardcore fan. Because I didn't want to see him get squashed in the match that preceded, or not, that's not the right word, came after. I'm trying to use big words, but with Roman Reigns. Hey, my brain is, I don't know
abnormally
if it's
small.
I don't know. It could be abnormally large, abnormally small, average. I don't know. Anyway, Reigns comes out and just demolishes Bryan in a squash match.
I wouldn't say demolish. He almost got the S-lock on him.
Well, he did get the S-lock on him. It got broken.
Yeah. I mean,
they gave Bryan that one thing at the start of the match.
They gave him more than I thought. I thought it was going to be Reigns was going to come out here, hit him with the spear, maybe do his Superman punch, and then it was going to be over. So I was shocked they gave, but it's Daniel Bryan, so I guess they couldn't just let him completely get squashed,
Yeah, but
we knew it was going to happen.
Roman Reigns went on fucking Brock Lesnar on him after the yes lock thing and just started fucking ground and pounding him, which was cool and all, but I don't like seeing Bryan get squashed. I fucking hate it. Like, it just irks me the wrong way. And I would have been just as pissed if Cesaro was getting squashed. But it made sense. They played a whole storyline with him getting his knee attacked throughout the entire chamber match. So it was like, okay, let's be honest. He started one.
They've played on it for the last, 6 months? Every match he's in, he gets his knee hurt.
Does he? Like, I haven't really
That's
noticed.
what it feels like. And I have something. I have something about that on SmackDown when we get to it.
Okay. Moving on after Reigns retains his title in a hard fought match.
Yeah, he's put it all in, all the glory.
We move on to the U.S. title triple threat.
Another match that we cares about.
Yeah, we'll just move on to the women's tag match.
No, we gotta announce who won.
No, come on, I don't want to talk about it.
We'll get to it fast. Basically, John Morrison won the Fatal 4-Way at the beginning or at the pre-show, just so that they could believably have Matt Riddle pin Morrison instead of Lashley. And for whatever reason, now Lashley, instead of going back after Matt Riddle, is going after other opportunities that we will talk about later. But yeah, basically Matt Riddle got a win off of John Morrison, beating him and Bobby Lashley. It was stupid. I don't know why they're doing it. And continue.
Thanks for doing that, because I did not want to talk about it at all. Then we move on to the women's tag match. That happened, right? I honestly couldn't tell you what happened in that match. Like, I watched it. Who was all in it? Was it Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus shit, this is bad. It was a boring match. It had no meaning whatsoever, because that title has no meaning.
This is what happens when you come unprepared.
No, I'm prepared. It's just I legitimately did not care about this match, unfortunately, because realistically, what was the last women's tag title match that you can remember actually liking?
The Iconics.
When was that? Because that was probably when I was not watching.
Oh yeah, okay, it was against them. It was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Now I remember.
Yeah,
I remember being pissed off at the end of this match.
We're not going to talk much about this. Look, I'm going to give my opinion on Bianca Belair. Before she won the Women's Royal Rumble, absolutely loved her. She came out there, I thought she was great. Ever since she won that, and this might just be story writing. It might not be. I hope it's just story writing. Her ego has shot through the roof, and she walks out there like she's better than anybody before her. And let me tell you, girl, you got a lot to build up on. You won one Royal Rumble, and you haven't even won your first title yet. So let's drop that ego and go back to, you want to be, the strongest, toughest, bestest, whatever, you say in your little, get up there. And
scripted little promo that she does every week.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably just that. It's the same thing with Edge. I love Edge, but all the promos and stuff that they're cutting and doing is making me hate them.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when the show's entirely scripted. But
fair enough.
They're not actors. They're fucking wrestlers. Like, stop trying to make them actors.
I mean, just because Adam Copeland is an actor.
Yeah, but he's not really a good one. I like Edge. Come on, he's not a good actor. I've seen what was it, Haven he was in?
His acting is about how he wrestles now.
Flat,
old, boring,
uninspiring.
washed up.
Like fucking Stone Cold's a better actor than him, and I think Stone Cold's a terrible actor.
I don't think I've ever disliked Stone Cold in anything, but we're getting off track here. Anyway,
he's just
being
being Stone Cold in his movies. But anyway,
of course, Shayna and Nia held onto the titles. Overall, wasn't that great of a match.
Reginald got involved again. I'm tired of seeing Reginald on TV.
Like I said, it just wasn't great. Moving on.
Yeah, to the Raw Chamber. So this is the chamber I honestly, as a match, I can't really tell you much about. It was okay. It was predictable.
It was very predictable.
I guess the only unpredictable thing was Sheamus got eliminated before the final two. He got eliminated
that one shocked me.
Like the second to last or
something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was a terrible match in my opinion.
Yeah. Worst part of the match. What do you think is the worst part?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember this one because the Smackdown Chamber is pretty much all in my mind, because it was the one I actually enjoyed. It was
I
the only
remember
match
both
I
of them.
enjoyed.
I remember both of them. But give me
didn't
your worst
almost
and
rip
best.
something. Didn't almost get involved and rip something apart or something
yes,
in that match.
Yes, he ripped.
I thought it was really done.
He ripped the back panel off of the chamber itself.
Yeah,
I believe it was when Jeff Hardy was eliminated and going out.
Oh yeah, Jeff was in that match.
It was either Jeff or Randy, one of those two, but they were leaving.
Randy got eliminated first, didn't he?
Something like that, yeah. But basically, AJ got pulled out of the Elimination Chamber and walked around and entered through the front way before his time. That is the worst and best part of that match. The worst because it was absolutely stupid, and we all knew that his little bodyguard there was going to help him do something. And it was laughable the whole time, but it cracked me up because that happened. I think it was Randy. When Randy got eliminated, he just went through and started RKOing everybody. And when he's leaving, I believe it was him, Adam Pearce comes out and it was or it might have been with AJ. I think it was with AJ. But basically he came out there and was yelling at him, telling Omar to get out of there.
Yeah, Omos.
I don't know what his name is.
Omos. It's Omos.
Omos. Sorry, I haven't cared enough because I will say this every week that we have to talk about AJ Styles. I do not like AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles is boring. I will stick to that. I'm sorry if you're a fan of him, but most boring title reign I've ever watched in my life. His wrestling moves crap. Yeah, he bores me. I can't find any enjoyment out of this guy. And the fact that I have to watch him move his hair out of his face 30,000 times in every match that he's in absolutely annoys me. Tie your hair up, cut it off like you had it before, do something with it, dude. Get it out of your face and put on a good wrestling match.
To be fair, he's in his 40s. He's probably afraid if he cuts it, it's never getting that long again.
But yeah, anyways, it comes down to it. McIntyre, of course, gets the win. At this point, yeah.
My WrestleMania prediction happened about 2 months early.
Yeah. At this point, Bobby Lashley comes out, and I'm not going to say destroy. He comes out and beats up a already beaten down McIntyre. And then, of course, The Miz comes out and cashes in the Money in the Bank, and boom, Miz is the new champion, and we haven't seen McIntyre since.
Yes. Which is weird.
Stupid.
But I'm okay with The Miz cashing in. I'm okay with him being champion. I think he's the only real heel on the roster.
I have no problem with The Miz cashing in and being the champion. The problem I have with it is this whole I had to have Bobby Lashley come out and beat up.
He's a heel.
No, and I understand that. I completely understand that, but it's a fact of, they should have, this whole Bobby Lashley thing, now I get it, I want a title shot, blah, blah, because I helped you. It's stupid. Miz is a heel, but Miz is that guy who, he's going to cash in after that match. We knew it was coming. But I don't think they needed Lashley to come out there and beat down McIntyre.
Of course they do. They need a reason to put the belt on Lashley so McIntyre can wrestle Lashley at WrestleMania.
I don't know. For me, it feels like they're shitting on like the all about round of Miz's character. Because, Miz is a heel, okay? He does hillish things. He does what a bad guy will do. But as he's doing those bad guy things, Miz also has this reputation of, hey, I'm a bad guy, but I'm demanding your respect type of bad guy. Yeah. Not a, hey, I'm going to come out, I'm going to have somebody come out and beat your ass and then come out and pin you. That's not Miz.
I think it worked.
Yeah, of course it still worked. It just, I don't know. To have
I think it's exactly
Bobby
Miz.
Lashley lose a title and then instantly go help somebody else get another one so he can have a shot at it, it just makes me angry.
I think it would have been funnier if he got Braun to do it.
Probably.
He's a big, dumb meathead.
But yeah, like we said, the Asuka match was canceled, of course, surprisingly. And that was the end of the show. So moving on to Raw. Or no, I have to pace myself here. Rating of the show.
Yeah, I was about to say, we gotta give it a rating.
I thought it sucked so bad that, we could just skip it, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a 1, 2. I'll give it a 2 just for the first match.
You were generous, man. 0.
I really like the first.
Absolute 0.
I like the first match, the chamber match. The first chamber match was really good.
I don't know.
It was a good match. I
didn't like the show. Yeah, it was an all right match, but it still had a shitty ending.
I didn't think it had a shitty ending. It just had a shitty lead on because you knew what was going to happen next. I think
maybe
Bryan fighting through it.
I'm giving it a 0. I think the whole show sucked.
It did. Don't get me wrong.
Honestly, I'd probably give it a 1 for that match because the first match was decently good and had me a little bit hope for the show. But the fact that your pay-per-view is shorter than your weekly show, takes that 1 away. It's a 0.
Yeah.
You could have filled somebody in the rant with Asuka. You could have had somebody come out there and be like, well, if Lacey's pregnant, she can't wrestle, so Asuka, I'm going to challenge you. You could have done something.
Right.
You could have done something to put Asuka in there, and I'm not saying get a full 3 hours in, but another 15-20 minute match. Yeah, so I'm going to 0. But anyways, moving on to Raw.
Okay, here we go. So it's a start of a wrestling show, so of course it starts off with talking, right? I'm gonna keep doing this until it fucking starts with the match. I'm gonna bitch and bitch and bitch. So this is gonna be like a new thing because I hate
there's
fucking
gonna
promos.
Be 1 week where they're gonna start off with a match.
I'm gonna give the show a 10 out of 10 just for that.
It's gonna start off with a match, like people are coming out and everything.
Matt Riddle, and then I'm gonna be like mad.
Well, it's either gonna be Matt Riddle or they're gonna come out and like right before the match is about to start, somebody's gonna interrupt and come out there and talk for half an hour.
Oh, God. Anyway, The Miz comes out with this championship and with Morrison. I like them together from the sense that they're a quick, good tag team, but I agree with Nick. I wish Morrison was doing something on his own and actually doing something, but hey, whatever. He comes out and talks about, how he's basically the only one of his little generation that's left, and calling himself the two-time Grand Slam champion. I don't know if that's accurate, but I feel like there was other people in WWE who's held all the titles more than once, but I could be wrong. But yeah, he's just doing his thing where he's playing it up, and he's not asking for respect. He's demanding it. He still feels like he's being disrespected. To be honest, I don't think this is completely a promo. I do think, to an extent, Miz is disrespected a lot by the fandom and by people behind the scenes. The Miz is one of the best performers, and it took a long time for me to realize this too.
Oh, yeah.
But The Miz is one of their best performers. He's by far one of my favorite people on the roster. So I'm glad he's got to hold that title again. I, again, wish he got a real reign, because, again, this one's going to disappear after possibly tomorrow. We're recording this on Sunday, the day before Raw, where he's going to face Lashley. But I want him to have a real title reign, for like a couple months, after his first reign got ruined with that whole Rock and fucking Cena shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
The Hurt Business comes out. Bobby Lashley MVP. You can feel the salt from me. Looking back, but Bobby Lashley and MVP comes out, and again, MVP is just the best thing they could have ever done when he came back was to be a mouthpiece, because he was always a great talker, and he is Bobby Lashley's Paul Heyman, except better. Because I think Paul Heyman, unfortunately, he's lost a bit of his luster as a talker. But that's a whole different subject. No,
Heyman's
maybe for SmackDown we're
still
nickel,
a good
probably.
talker. Heyman's still a good talker. The problem with Heyman, and I don't necessarily I blame him, but I don't blame him, is the fact of, okay, so he had Brock Lesnar. When he started with Brock Lesnar, it was great. It was fantastic. The problem with that scenario is Brock Lesnar got old. People got tired of watching Brock Lesnar just only show up at pay-per-views, never on a regular show, almost a house show. They got tired of, and then Paul Heyman coming out every week, here's the, reigning undisputed, blah, 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 every week it was the same thing. Right. And then he got with Roman, and everybody was like, oh, okay, Heyman has somebody new, he has somebody different. He's gonna do different. No.
Now he's just looking at fucking Roman like he wants to, make out with him in front of everyone. He's doing the same exact gimmick as he did of Brock. And I'm gonna tell you why Heyman's doing this. Heyman hasn't lost a touch. He's smart. He's a smart businessman. He's smart with his words. He's doing this because he is pissed at Vince. Because he had control of, what was it, Raw, I believe? Yeah. And it was going good. He had good storylines going, good stuff set up. He's the reason McIntyre is where McIntyre is. Well, not now anyways, but was. Aleister Black was going to get pushed.
Aleister Black was getting pushed. He had a bunch of great storylines setting up. And what happened? Vince shut him down, took him off as running the show. They got rid of, I think who was it, Bischoff?
Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, off of SmackDown,
which was fine. SmackDown's actually been better since Bischoff,
and that's
I don't even think Bischoff got to even do anything. Really,
I don't think he did anything too big. But the point of it is Raw was going great, and then Heyman got taken off of it. And I think at this point now, it's Heyman's pissed at Vince. Vince is going to keep using Heyman because, as much as people don't like to admit it, Heyman, I'm not saying he's pulling a whole arena of people in, but Heyman has viewers. He has viewership.
He's one of the few real managers WWE has right now.
Exactly. And he's going to pull in people who like listening to run his mouth every week. But Vince is going to keep him like that because it is viewership, and it's hey, I'm keeping you here so you can't go anywhere else. And Heyman's over here going, hey, I'm just going to keep running my mouth exactly the same every week so people get tired of me and don't want to watch me on your show.
Yeah. Anyway, MVP comes out and is basically like, hey, you owe him a championship match, yada, yada, yada. And then Lashley...
That was the deal.
Miz tries to get out. Yeah. Miz tries to get out of it, and basically Lashley says, one way or another, he's going to the hospital. Yada, 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 yada.
I will give Lashley credit on this promo, though, because now the little hospital part was a little far-fetched, but other than that, when he got to the end and said awesome.
No, that was the worst part for me. I'm like, come on. You ruined a decent promo to me.
No, it was great. He was basically like throwing it in Miz's face like, hey, you think you're awesome, I'm gonna freaking destroy you. Probably one of the best promos I've ever seen by Lashley. And once again, another manager issue with the fact of Lashley comes out here and talks, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy can talk? What the hell is MVP here for? I'm like,
Lashley can talk when he's not saying too many things. Like, when Lashley has to do a long form promo, it's not that great. MVP's there because he can't do it. It's the same thing with Brock Lesnar. I wish Brock Lesnar would do some more shorter things because he can talk. Yeah. And don't script him. Just let him fucking go at it. Tell him to think it's UFC. Yeah. Anyways, have you seen Brock Lesnar's UFC stuff? Like, man, he can talk. Yeah. Anyway, God. Matt Riddle backstage with the Lucha House Party talking about he's going to call his title, the U.S. title, Travis. Yeah, let's disrespect one of the most storied fucking titles in the history of wrestling. Whatever. I forgot, because titles don't mean anything to Vince. They're just props and whatnot. They're not historic things that have been around for fucking long time. Like USA title, like not just the one the WWE's had, which they adopted from WCW, has been around for a long fucking time. So many great wrestlers have held that title. Same thing's the Intercontinental title, the WWE title, the Universal title. That one's different. That's a shitty title. I miss the big gold belt, but anyway, that's a different rant. He goes out. He's wrestling John Morrison in a non-title match. I didn't care. I'm gonna be completely honest about this match.
They just had a repeat. That's all they did.
Yeah, that's all it was. Riddle won. Okay, cool.
What cracks me up is, Riddle like gets out of that match and he's like looking at Morrison like, oh yeah, I just like whooped you. Like I'm the best. Nobody can beat me. And I'm sitting here going, bruh, you just beat the guy that you pinned to win that champion. So you haven't faced anybody for that champion.
Yeah, I just fucking Riddle just pisses me off so much. And I think he's supposed to be a babyface, but in a lot of ways he's a heel, and I want him to lose that fucking title. He does not deserve to hold that title. I'm saying that now. Like, I hope someone better takes it off of him within the month.
Matt Riddle got a championship run before Keith Lee. It makes me not want to watch WWE anymore. Vince, I'm calling you out here. Why do you hate Keith Lee?
Because he just doesn't get him. But whatever. We move on. A little package. Rhea Ripley is going to be on Raw finally.
Yeah. You could have just had her show up and maybe not announced it.
But still, that's something. Probably should have had her on Raw or SmackDown a month ago after the finishing second in the Rumble. But hey, who cares what her fans and just wrestling fans in general wanted?
Right.
Moving on, showing footage of WWE 24/7 champion Bad Bunny on SNL. Who watches SNL anymore? And it's Bad Bunny. After that, it's him backstage with Damian Priest, and I'm gonna say what I basically said to Nick. I'm starting to realize I don't hate Damian Priest as much as I do. I hate Bad Bunny so much that by osmosis, I'm hating Damian Priest. I hate celebrity people on wrestling.
I don't like Damian Priest. I just look.
I think I'd be indifferent.
Jericho, if you want to act like you're in a band, then go be in a band.
I think it's by osmosis that I'd be indifferent.
I don't know.
Otherwise. Yeah, but anyway, R-Truth, I'll let you say what you're going to say.
I was going to say, I'm not hating on the guy. I don't like him as of right now. I don't think he's had enough time in there to do anything. We'll see where he goes. But, if a lot of the NXT stars coming over that do go anywhere, they have a short run and then they get shit on. So it's hard for me to get excited when NXT people come over now.
Oh, I can understand that. I can totally understand it. Anyway, R-Truth comes out. He's come sneaking around with the referee. He gets caught. Again, R-Truth is hilarious. He really is. Like, I still think it's dumb that this stuff's in wrestling, but at least R-Truth is legitimately funny. Kind of like a Santino Marella.
Yeah.
But, anyway, Damian Priest basically threatens him, because he's fucking Bad Bunny's bodyguard, I guess. I don't fucking know. Like, would have been better if he was his own thing, but...
Well, you know what's going to happen by the end of this. When Bad Bunny's little contract with WWE runs out, we all know Damian Priest is going to pin him for that title.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Just anyway, The Miz is backstage with Adam Pearce talking about that whole situation. Pearce says he can make any decision he wants, but it needs to be soon. Again, I'm not excited for this because I want Miz to have a long title reign, and I already see where this shit's going. New Day is making their way to the ring to face Mace and T-Bar from Retribution, and this match, I'm tired of seeing Mustafa Ali on TV right now, part of this group. It's just... At least at the end of this match, because
I was tired of seeing him on TV when he wasn't in the group.
New Day wins, and at least it looks like that Retribution might break up, And I'm hoping next week when he does this again or at Fastlane, he just pisses everyone off so they just wail on him. It's going to be great. Because you just look at him. He is the smallest and least imposing person in that group. I would never be afraid of Mustafa Ali.
Right.
You know, if I was any of these guys. I'm just waiting for the two big ones to just fucking wreck his shit next week or something.
Well, that's when you know WWE's cutting some contracts.
Yeah. I think Retribution's going to break up, if not next week at Fastlane. They're already setting it up. Bobby Lashley is walking backstage with MVP. Lashley is dressed to compete. The Ultimatum has 4 minutes to go in the show. Commercial break. Footage is shown. Bobby Lashley giving Miz 1 hour. Oh, this is just notes about there being a recap or flash. What do I want to call it? Previously in the because Raw was fucking 3 hours, so people forget what happened like 2 hours
earlier tonight because our show's too long.
Yeah. Anyway, they're all in the ring. Adam Pearce in the ring to oversee the Ultimatum. Pearce welcomes Bobby Lashley, who comes out with MVP. Miz and John Morrison come out. Morrison's limping. I'm assuming from his match. I don't remember. Because this is the part of the show that I just fucking zoned out on. Lashley does not look happy that Miz is still dressed in a suit. Pearce mentions that Lashley hasn't issued him a challenge, yada, yada, yada. It's a bunch of, like, talking back and forth. Braun Strowman, I almost say Strowman. Braun Strowman's music hits. He makes his way to the ring, and Strowman says that Pearce and Shane have a vendetta against him. I'm starting to think they do.
Oh my gosh.
But he's just a big, oh my god, he's a bigger
Sami
fucking
Zayn.
Oh my god, he looks like a bigger Sami Zayn. He is Sami Zayn.
The greatest
I just now realized
tag
that.
team.
Oh, it was so good.
I would die, dude.
Oh
gosh.
Anyway, he's just talking about how they tried to keep him out of the Elimination Chamber match, and Miz is trying to stir the pot, obviously. Yeah. Trying to get out of his match. MVP is telling him to knock that shit off. Shane's music hits, and he comes out of the ring. I don't want to see Shane on TV.
I don't
Please keep him off TV.
He's the only person I dislike more than Vince.
I don't know. I think his sister is just as bad.
No, see, here's the difference. Okay, as annoying and as bitchy as Stephanie can be, she's stuck with the company. And even in their worst of storylines, her and Triple H have attempted different and newer things. I think Shane is just like his dad and wants to keep repeating, oh, hey, yeah, I want to come out here and act like I can still jump off tops of cages and jump across the ring and, drop kick you.
Yeah.
And, put my body through hell. Look, Shane, you're old. You need to stop.
Sounds like the same reasons I hate Jeff Hardy.
Fair enough.
But anyway, Braun Strowman basically gets interjected into a match with Lashley. If he wins, he gets involved in a triple threat match next week or tomorrow. For the WWE Championship, and Lashley chop blocks Strowman's knee and leaves the ring. I don't remember if they actually played into the match. I don't know if Strowman was messing with his knee. I don't think he was. Anyway, we have the non-title tornado tag match between Lucha House Party and the Hurt Business. This was actually a pretty decent match, even though I'm pretty sure this wasn't on Hulu.
I would say I do not think it was.
If I had to guess, this would be one of those matches that weren't on Hulu.
Go figure.
But it was a pretty good match. Like it was dumb fun. But anyway, the Hurt Business wins. Now I'm just starting to wonder though if Cedric Alexander is not leaving. Like I thought they were playing up that he was going to be leaving the Hurt Business, but
I don't know.
Now I don't know. But anyway, more Bad Bunny stuff because Damian Priest with Bad Bunny versus Angel Garza. I don't know why I said Garcia. Damian Priest wins. I just Bad Bunny is involved, and I just like. I want to like Damian Priest, or at least I want to give him a chance. But he just got Bad Bunny with him, and he's getting involved in the matches in some way.
I will say one thing, and this goes back to the R-Truth thing. The R-Truth calling him Bugs Bunny.
That was funny.
That actually really cracked me up.
Like I said, R-Truth is funny. I still think it's dumb for all this dumb comedy to be in wrestling, but at least R-Truth is funny, just like Santino Marella was funny.
Yeah.
Most other people who do this shit are not funny.
Yeah. Anyways, on to that match.
Randy Orton will be on next for a promo thing. And again, another Rhea Ripley is coming to Raw. What do you want to call it? Package or something?
Sure.
Anyway, we're still on this Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss Fiend shit.
Okay, but I'll give it one thing here. As much as, this has been annoying and, should have ended forever ago, at least now I think they finally figured out where they want Randy. So
throwing up black liquid like he's possessed or something?
That cracked me up.
Like, this is wrestling. Like, bruh. I don't know how much more of this I can watch. Like, this is a wrestling show. Yes, until recently, we had this undead wizard fucking motorcycle guy. He is the only one who's ever worked. This doesn't work in wrestling.
They're gonna do something stupid. Like, they're gonna have, like, Randy's supposed to face the Fiend at, like,
he's gonna turn into the Fiend.
Exactly. Like, they're gonna have Randy sitting here. He's gonna, like, start spitting up, black liquid crap again.
Fucking Husky Harris is gonna come out like, I'm free.
Yeah, you're just gonna hear, let me in. And, like, the lights are gonna shut off and come back on, and the Fiend's gonna be standing where Randy was.
It's so dumb. Please stop. I love Bray Wyatt.
Randy slithering under the ring.
I love the Fiend until it got this dumb. Like, they turned the Fiend into something that was still interesting into something that's just laughable and a joke.
Welcome to the WWE.
Anyway, that. Well, footage is shown of Lacey Evans announcing she was pregnant last week because Charlotte Flair is making her way to the ring with Asuka versus the women's tag team champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler again for like the 100,000th time in a non-title match. The only thing interesting to happen in this match was that Asuka had her fucking tooth knocked out by Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
So this match was dumb. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler won. This is basically, I think, this only happened, so I don't know if this happened yet or later in the show. I think I'm just going to talk about it here. Charlotte confronted her father during the show, basically telling him to go home. I think that will actually happen now. Basically saying that he is hurting their legacy, the legacy of the Flair last name, whatever.
Yeah.
And that him dancing around acting like the kid's his was dumb and yada yada yada. It's just they're basically doing damage control because then Rick's like, I never said the kid was mine, yada yada yada. Again, doing damage control. Yeah. The week after they do something dumb, implying that like Lacey Evans is having an affair with Ric Flair, and it's like
they did it. Like, I mean, I think it was self-implied by people. If you really look at it, it wasn't like he didn't turn around and was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a kid. Like, he was just like, oh yeah, like, good for you. Like,
well, no, he like the way he acted is like, really, and like just the amount of excitement he showed. Like, yeah, people can be excited for other people having kids. But that's usually excitement of a soon-to-be dad. Like, yes, well, like, fans implied again that there's some type of affair happening, but the WWE, I think, were purposely trying to do this, and it's dumb, it's in poor taste, and I'm glad that hopefully they are putting it to bed. Ric Flair's gonna go home after him saying basically the only reason why he was on TV is because he wanted to be on TV, not because WWE like asked him to come on.
Yep.
He literally like showed up and was like, I want to be on TV, because he can't let it fucking die. I understand, Rick, you were the biggest thing in wrestling, like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, a long time ago, like very long time ago, but you're not anymore. Sorry.
Let it go like you let your last couple of lives go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there.
I don't really care.
He's the ladies' man. He want to carry you there. I love you, Rick. Anyways,
I love Ric Flair too. That's why this is painful to watch. But anyway, Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. If Jeff Hardy would have won this match, I would have been pissed. Sheamus won, thank God. Please go home, Hardy, as well. You're old. Your body's broken. You don't look the same. You don't wrestle the same. You just can't do it anymore. As someone who was a fan, go home. Anyway, there's the segment that I just mentioned because I wanted to get that out of the way first. Moving on to what was probably also not on Hulu for those who were lucky enough to watch the Hulu version. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Naomi and Lana. Naomi and Lana win. Literally, the notes for this match is like 2 sentences. So I'm assuming it was very short because I didn't even watch this match. I must have used the restroom or something and it happened. But you know how excited I was at the Rumble for Naomi to be coming back, and it's like, oh, we're not going to use her. Well, fuck you too.
I'm not going to get excited for somebody coming back when I know they're not going to do anything with them. The women's division is starting to have the same problem as the men's division. Is we've selected our top 5 or 6 women. And that's who we're going to keep on top. And all the other ones can, go,
fuck off.
Yeah, go fuck off and just, run your contract out.
That's exactly what they're doing. Come the next couple weeks after WrestleMania, like right after WrestleMania, we're going to see a bunch of people released. Which is not uncommon for every year.
Anyways, was there anything else there?
Yeah, AJ Styles with... fucking talking about Raw is such a pain.
Like I said, was there anything else there?
AJ Styles with Omos versus Ricochet. Ricochet is obviously getting squashed every week because his contract's coming up, and they're doing what they do with people that they want to ruin the value of when they're going to leave. So they're going to have him lose every match he's in, unless he just... he can't even just stay home.
Honestly, at this point,
I'm okay with it anyway. Ricochet was not that very interesting. He couldn't cut a promo to save his life. And all he knew how to do was do some of the best flippy flip shit that I've ever seen. But that is not wrestling. And I will keep saying that. As much as I like high flyers, if all you can do is just flip around and shit, it's not wrestling.
Yeah.
Because people don't sell these moves. But anyway, you probably... he gets destroyed afterwards by Omos, who picks him up and just chucks him down the ground with a double-handed chokeslam, whatever you want to call that. Then we get on to the main event, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley with MVP, and I was actually legitimately kind of surprised that Bobby Lashley was given the win here. But again, how many wrestlers are we gonna have use the spear as a finisher in WWE?
Until we forget that it's a finisher.
Yeah, like the super kick. Remember that was a finisher. Like, everyone uses a super kick. Now everyone uses the fucking spear. Like, Charlotte uses a spear. Bobby Lashley uses a spear.
Well, in all fairness,
I would say the Big
only
Show.
So much moves you can call finishers before other people need to use them.
Yes, to a certain extent, you're right. It's laughable how often, like, you're supposed to consider this move, like, a really impactful move for someone that ends the match. Then realistically, and this used to be a thing back in the day, other people weren't allowed to use that fucking that move because it's like, well, that's my finisher.
Yeah.
When I use it, it means the match is over. If you're using it and you're not ending the match, then it makes my move look dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, wrestling's not real, and everyone knows it now. So I guess we can move on from that. I still like to think that way because I like to treat it as if it's real, but whatever. Anyway, Bob Lashley wins. He hits him with a spear, and then beats him down a little bit after the match. So I'm not going to be surprised if Braun Strowman comes in tomorrow for this next week and interferes in the match and costs him the match, and there's still a triple threat of wrestling. But anyway,
that's what I'm
what's
saying.
Your thoughts?
That's what I'm saying for Fastlane. And I'll say this now, is Lashley's going to end up losing this match. It'd be something stupid like that because of Braun. He's going to demand that he gets another title shot at Fastlane. He'll end up getting it. Somehow they're going to fit McIntyre into this. It's going to end up a triple threat between McIntyre, Lashley, and The Miz. I think McIntyre will pin The Miz. And then at the end of the night, I think Brock Lesnar is going to come out, hit McIntyre. And then leading up to WrestleMania, it's going to be Lashley saying, oh, once again, I was screwed. I didn't get beat here, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be, well, he's facing Brock, and it's going to be a triple threat between Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley.
That sounds horrible.
I don't know. It could be good, but we'll see. Anyways,
it could be, but
rating of the show.
A 1, because I don't know, besides a filler match that I found interesting. The storylines,
I'm going to agree with you. It deserves a 1, but here's my thought on that. I'm going to give it a 2. Why am I going to give it a 2? It has a 1 for it being what it was for a show, but I'm giving it an extra star because SmackDown sucked worse.
Somehow, yes. I'll let you talk about that.
Anyways, moving on to SmackDown. Show opens with Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan coming out. He's challenging Reigns, basically talking about Elimination Chamber, blah, blah, blah. Uso decides then, for whatever reason, to attack Daniel Bryan. Really no reason to.
Well, yeah, he's just this little chihuahua.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And he doesn't even really attack him. He hits him once, and then he throws him outside the ring. Then he throws him into the side of the ring, and then he throws him over the barrier, and they act like he did something huge. At that point, Roman just basically, okay, we're leaving, whatever, we're getting out of here. We have an Edge promo, not going to talk about it. It's the same Edge promo you get every week, every time he pops up. He just pops up, for whatever reason, acts like he has this attitude like he's Roman Reigns, but doesn't talk like Roman Reigns. And then they move on to another Reigns promo. It's this short little thing where, Heyman says some words. I don't understand why I was in there. Then we cut back to the Edge promo. So instead of having like them two face to face in a promo, they cut to do 2 different ones. It was stupid.
Yeah.
After the Edge promo again, Mysterios come out. They face Otis and Chad Gable. Once again, another week I'm happy. Otis just completely annihilates Rey Mysterio. He ends up beating Rey Mysterio with pinfall. What was it? Sorry, my brain just shut down there from the happiness of Rey getting destroyed. At this point, they announced that Daniel Bryan's going to face Jey Uso. If Bryan wins, he gets a shot at the title at Fastlane. At this point, and this is going to be my rant of the day.
Yeah, I was about to say, we kind of had some of this.
Comes out, and he does this promo, and let me tell you, I've heard some terrible and some shit writing on, WWE, but he starts out with talking about what is an African American, and then basically says that he's like the truest form of one because he's from Nigeria. Sorry to tell you this, Apollo, but I don't think that makes you any more or less African American than Big E or any other African American. If it does, somebody let me know. Just tell me why it would make you more.
Well, he's from Africa, and he's also an American, so African American.
I don't know.
Big E was born in the United States, so it does make sense.
No, I'm fine with him saying he's an African American, but he made it seem like every other person that's African American is not African American because he's Nigerian.
What, in a weird way, he's kind of right. That's the point. Like,
I don't know. Anyways, he's sitting there talking, and he's talking about how his daddy was rich and had all this power in Nigeria.
Well, not just that, his grandfather. I think.
Or grandfather, sorry. Great-grandfather, whichever. It was, it was a relative. And for whatever reason, instead of wanting to have this same power and richness in Nigeria, it made him want to join the WWE. where you're not rich and, well, as far as I've seen, you haven't had a lot of power.
Hey, he's been a couple-time Cruiserweight champion.
Anyways,
that's some great
Shinsuke
gold.
Nakamura comes out.
You just completely ignore it.
Shinsuke Nakamura comes out. Apollo Crews attacks him before the match even starts. Cuts the commercial, comes back on. They're started the match already. Basically, Apollo wins. They're shitting on Shinsuke.
They shit on my boy. Yeah, they shit on my boy.
It was dumb. Next match is Tamina versus... I say the Riot Squad. I'm not calling them by their names. They've demindled them so much. Their names have left the back of my head.
Tamina and Natalia versus Liv Morgan and Ruby Riot.
Yeah.
Since I'll just do it.
Well, it wasn't a tag team. It was just Tamina versus.
Morgan. Yeah.
Once again, we crap on the Riot Squad. Tamina wins this match. We go. We go to a Bianca promo, and once again, this is her deciding who she's going to face at WrestleMania. We already knew who she was going to pick. We'll get to that in a second. Whatever reason, they have to come out to the ring. Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville's out there. I'm honestly believing that Adam Pearce is just trying to get as much screen time as he can.
Well, I guess he's the GM for both or something.
I don't know.
I never really realized that until now.
It's stupid. Anyway, Bianca comes out and, she's talking, her smack and everything. I'm getting tired of her already. At this point, Reginald, whatever you want to call him.
Well, Sasha comes out first, but yeah, Reginald.
Yeah, Sasha comes out. Basically, at this point, Bianca's like, you know who I'm facing at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. So she's picking Sasha. Ooh, woohoo, big shocker. Didn't see that coming. And then Reginald decides he wants to come out and interrupt and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for Sasha. You can't talk to her like that. You're stupid. Get off the roster."
Yes, please. I agree. Reginald is just a waste of TV time.
But yeah, Bianca picks Sasha, and then it cuts to a Corbin and Sami Zayn promo talking about how Sami's like, "Hey, we could be a really great tag team, a powerful one." Corbin's just not having any of his shit. They go out and face the Street Profits. Decently good match. Of course, Corbin and Zayn lose because of Sami's, little documentary crew. The Profits win with once I have to learn their names. the one that goes shirtless.
It's Dawkins and someone else. I forget.
I'll learn their names, but the one that goes shirtless.
It's Dawkins. The other's names is Montez Ford.
Okay.
I don't know which one's shirtless.
I'll figure that out by next week. Anyways, the one that goes shirtless. You have given me a new passion to finding younger wrestlers that I can enjoy watching wrestle. This guy does a frog splash. And I'm not even joking here, and some people might disagree with me. He does it just like Eddie Guerrero. And
I disagree.
No, don't get me wrong. It's not perfect. And nobody's ever going to do it perfect like Eddie. But the point of this is this dude gets some air. Now, this past week, he didn't get a high one because he did more of a springboard off of the ropes instead of the turnbuckle. But a few weeks back, he did one off the turnbuckle, and I thought the guy was going to hit the roof.
I don't know. I don't see anything special with it.
I would like to
honestly,
see...
that's another one of those moves that everyone uses again. That's overused.
Some people make it look better than others. But my point of it is,
there's only two people to ever do good frog splashes anyway. Only two.
He could be the third one. And I'm going to say this. I would like, and I know this is not going to happen for a while. If it happens at all, I hope it does happen. I would like them to split the Street Profits up and let him have his own solo run. Because I think he could put on a good show. And maybe not as like a top tier champion, but definitely a USA or Intercontinental champion, maybe down the road, maybe a big champion shot. Not right now.
They're already stretched thin when it comes to tag teams. They're not going to get rid of.
And that's why I said it's not going to happen now.
It's
not going to happen now. I'm saying down the road. He's still a younger, or a newer wrestler, I should say. I'm not sure if he's younger. He still needs to
He's pretty young.
He still needs to get in here and get, he needs to learn the ropes. I'm just saying, from what I've seen recently, I think he would have potential to be a good solo run wrestler and, give the WWE a, good run for its money. Anyways, moving on from the Profits win there. As they're leaving, Daniel Bryan comes out. They have the promo, sorry.
Yeah, with Kayla.
Yeah, it's a promo, sorry. Once again, Edge shows up. That's all I have to say about that part. I just...
Basically, Bryan says he has a better chance of beating Roman than
and Edge is
does.
like, so yeah, what if you do beat Roman? Do you think you're going to beat me? And then, Bryan is like, I think I'll keep that answer to myself. Instead of just going back, yeah, dude, I'll beat your old ass.
Fucking... Yes.
Anyways,
yes.
Going on from that, Seth Rollins comes out. He's doing his talk and everything. Yada yada yada. Cesaro comes out, and I have to say, Cesaro's lost some of his he's a lot more toned now. He's not as beefy. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing because
it just happens. But...
You can tone and still be a freaking monster.
He is still a monster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Weirdly, he looks better now. To me, anyway, he looks better now with the tone way he looks than he did when he was a little bulkier. And I don't know why. He comes out and I'm just like, yeah, he's about to whoop somebody's ass. Anyways, he comes out. And basically, he listens to Seth Rollins talk a little bit, and then he just commences to fucking swinging Seth Rollins around as fast as he can. And I'm going to say it went on for 50 minutes. I know it was only 2 or 3, but it felt like 50 minutes. I mean, he was spinning them so much that Seth Rollins' jacket came off.
So, what are we going to call this gimmick? The motivational speaker scammer gimmick or something?
It's Embrace the Vision.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to be a motivational speaker, the scam fucking things.
Yeah, more or less.
And it's like, this is really dumb. What does this even have to do about wrestling? Yeah. It's again, why do we give Seth Rollins some of the stupidest things to work with? I know he can wrestle. I know he can do better things. I think the original Architect shit was at least decent. Ever since that stuff stopped, with the Authority, he has been unwatchable, in my opinion.
Yes. And I hope they're just dumbing down his character so when they do finally give him a good character, he can bounce right back. Anyways, continuing on from that, our last thing of that night, of SmackDown's night, I should say, we had Daniel Bryan versus, Jey Uso. A terrible match.
If he wins, he gets to face Roman Reigns at Fastlane for the championship.
Yeah. Terrible match for both wrestlers who I think have put on some decent matches in their time. Overall, it ends up ending in a double countout. At which point, Daniel Bryan pulls Jey Uso into the ring, puts the yes lock on him, and then Roman comes out and just completely, demolishes Daniel Bryan again. I really thought at this point, when this was happening, that Edge was going to come out and interfere. He didn't.
You're funny.
I thought he was, but he did not. Overall, I think it was a terrible show. My rating for the show, I'm going to give it a 1.
I'm also giving it a 1 because I'm tired of Daniel Bryan getting shit on.
Yeah,
and Shinsuke and Cesaro.
Yeah, and I'm only giving
all
it
my
a 1
favorite wrestlers on this fucking show.
It was awesome to see Rey Mysterio lose. But yeah, so that's all I have for it. You have anything else to add on to it?
No, I feel like all my favorite wrestlers are on SmackDown. I feel like routinely they just keep getting shit on, and it makes it really hard to enjoy WWE when all my favorite wrestlers. I'm starting to realize my favorite wrestlers are all guys that can't really talk, but are all great in-ring competitors. Mm-hmm. And I feel like their lack of mic skills keeps holding them back, and I don't think Roman's that greatest thing on the mic. He's a lot better than he used to be. Yeah. I feel like this is just some selective fucking, I don't want to say enforcement. What's the word I'm trying to... Just love or something that WWE has for certain wrestlers. Is just Braun good on the mic? No. but he's also like 7 foot tall and, you know, fucking 320 pounds. So I guess it gets a pass that way. But I don't know. I want Cesaro to get at least one title reign that does not like a week.
It'd be nice.
You know?
It would be nice, but...
You know.
Alrighty, guys. That's all we have for there. Once again, you know, thank you guys for watching the Raw Smack Wrestling podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, what all the other ones. Basically, any of your major podcast stations.
I was going to say Stitcher,
Yeah.
and possibly Amazon Music. Again, I have to check that out. If you guys are listening from that, let me know. On Twitter, you can see our socials in the description.
Yep.
You can catch Nick at FlayJerryNoxus, me at The Dog The Gamer, or at the Raw Smack Pod on Twitter.
Yep.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This week's episode is definitely a little bit discombobulated after just an entire horrible week of wrestling, from Elimination Chamber to Raw, to SmackDown. I'm starting to think we're going to have to add NXT just so we can possibly have something good to talk about.
Possibly.
Or at least I'll just talk about it, because it's starting to feel like if Raw and SmackDown are going to be routinely this bad, it's going to get really fucking tough.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to cut Cody off here. You all have a good one. If you are watching on YouTube, you know, leave a like, leave a comment, all that fun stuff, and we will see you guys in the next episode of the Raw Smack Wrestling Podcast.
Yep.